Hey guys, how are you? Andy Sukhu, founder and CEO of Y2K Credit Solutions. So, I wanted to touch on a video that MG the mortgage guy, Matt Garland, dropped today about credit repair and getting a mortgage. And when you're going through the credit repair process with a credit repair company, the dispute comments that's on an account. And we reposted it already. We did some caption about it. We broke it down. Matt Garland also said the same thing. But I want to take it a step further, especially when it comes to original creditors. Keep in mind, credit repair companies, their job is to write a letter, and we put that in writing already in the caption. Their job is to write, or they're writing a letter on your behalf with no letterhead, and they're sending it to the credit bureaus, excuse me, in order to try to catch the credit bureau on a technicality to get an account removed. Some of those letters will work for third-party collection agency. This is why Lexington Law, CreditRepair.com, Trinity Credit, a lot of these companies, it doesn't work, and you stay with them for 6 months, and you pay the $99 fee or whatever they charge you, but it doesn't work. It's really, really hard to get an original creditor off your credit report with a dispute letter, especially when you knew you had the account for a while, you know you were paying it on time, and we've said this in multiple videos already. You're paying it on time, you have communication with the bank, and you have communication with the bank. You have a paper trail, how you paid the account, because you didn't walk into the credit card company bank and paid in cash. You paid it to a checking account, right? And when these credit repair companies write a dispute letter, they know that after the first or second letter, it's not going to come off. They already know that, right? But the psychological part about it is that they know that there's a dispute comment on your credit report, excuse me, and you're monitoring your credit from like Credit Karma or one of these free third-party sites, and you're seeing your score go up, and you're getting click happy, and you're like, oh wow, this is working, and my credit is going up. In reality, it's not, because it's a dispute comment, so the credit bureau gives you back the points as a courtesy until the dispute is finished. That's how it works, guys. Test it out. So now what Matt is saying, you cannot close with a dispute comment, especially with a original creditor that's a charge-off that's never been resolved, right? If it's never been resolved, it's going to show that on your credit report. It's going to affect your score. But even if you have a dispute comment on it, on that account, and you're trying to close on a mortgage and they remove the dispute comment, your score is going to drop, which is going to drop your credit score is going to drop, which is going to drop your interest rate, right? That can make a big factor in your rate. Let's say because when you did your pre-approval, your rate was 3.1 because your score was 680, but that wasn't your real score. It was inflated because you have dispute comments. Now, the score, when you remove the dispute comments, your score drops to 630. Now your interest rate goes from a 3.0 or 3.1 to like a 4.5. So the point of the message, and why I'm attaching this to Matt's video, what Matt said, is because the interest rate, the credit score drives your interest rate for your mortgage. And a lot of banks, they say that they can fund your mortgage at 580, 620, but there's a world of obstacles that comes up, and sometimes the deal doesn't even go through, right? Because the investors don't want to buy it if you're doing an FHA. But what I'm trying to say is that keep in mind that credit repair companies, what they're doing, you can do it yourself, right? Y2K is not a credit repair company. We're a debt settlement company. We've never advertised it as a credit repair company. But these credit repair companies, when they're writing these dispute letters, it's not guaranteed. It's not, right? So, like I said, one or two accounts may come off. The collections will come off. The collections will come off. That's a fact, because the collection agency does not own the debt. They're servicing it on behalf of an original creditor. But that does not mean you're not responsible for that debt anymore. Depending on the debt, depending on the original creditor, they'll take the debt back, and then they'll send it to another collection agency. So now 6 months later, you'll see this debt coming back on your credit report. The thing is, though, not all creditors, not all collection agencies report to all three bureaus. So you may be looking at Credit Karma, and Credit Karma will say Equifax and TransUnion is good, but you're not seeing Experian, and that account is reporting on Experian, right? So there's a lot of moving parts and components when it comes to this whole credit restoration, understanding a credit report, understanding a collection agency, how they work, understanding charge-offs, original creditors. There's a lot involved. And a lot of these companies are not telling you that. They're just posting, I fix your credit. If your credit start with 1, 2, 3, 4, you need to call me. That's really not how it works in the real world. All right? So I just wanted to touch on this and elaborate a little more on it. That what Matt said, he did a great job explaining it. And I just wanted to touch on it because I see a lot of clients that come into our office with dispute comments. And when I explain that to them, they're like, oh, really? They're shocked. Like, they didn't know that. And yeah, that's not your real score. Because one thing with Y2K, we're able to project your score and your ending score when you leave our office. Not all companies can do that. All right? So if you have any questions, leave a comment below. I'll try to answer it for you. Leave your question, your comment. I'll get back to you as much as I can. But I hope this kind of shines some light on this process because I've said it before, and I've said it in previous videos about a month ago. The paper dispute letters worked in the 80s and 90s. We're in the 21st century. Technology has changed so much. And the credit bureaus have different ways of processing stuff now. All right? So, talk to you soon. Enjoy.